Hey, hi everyone, Mohd Shoib this side. So in this video, we're going to talk about a new protocol of ESP32 that is called as a ESP-NOW. So in the past videos, we have discussed about the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth, but those are the protocols designed for close range. But what if you want to communicate further? What if you want to communicate for a range around 500 meter to 900 meter? So this is where there is a new protocol of ESP32 called ESP-NOW comes into the picture. This is designed to send a small amount of data for a longer range. So if your situation is like you have some kind of sensor reading which you want to send from one place to another place. For example, suppose that you have a farmhouse and in the farm you want to read the soil moisture level and your setup, your entire setup is like bit far away from the farmhouse, but still you want to monitor that. So how you can do that? Then Bluetooth is not going to helpful for you. Even your Wi-Fi will not reach for that much far. So in that condition, ESP-NOW is the best and ideal protocol for you. I'll be explaining you each and every line of code, what is the use of it. Before that, let's talk more about the ESP-NOW protocol. So this is a protocol which communicate peer-to-peer using the MAC address. So in order to send and receive the data, you must have the MAC address of each device. So in ESP-NOW, we can have one-way communication, two-way communication, one-to-many, and when many-to-one communication using the master and slave kind of protocol. And this code is quite easy to understand and implement. Let's jump to the screen and try to understand this, how we can implement. So I have opened the VS Code and I'm using an extension called P-Arduino. So I have already made a video how you can install the P-Arduino and how you can program ESP32 on Arduino using VS Code. So watch this video. I'll click on this extension and we need to click on create new project, and let's say ESP_NOW_1. So the scenario here is we are going to use two ESP32, one for sending, another for receiving. Simply we are going to send a LED state to turn on and turn off. So that's why I'm going a suffix as 1. When you create another one, I'll make it ESP-NOW2. So the board which we are using is DoIt ESP32. And either you can use IDE framework or Arduino framework. I'll be going with the Arduino. So I'll use the default location, find, click on finish. Okay. And similarly, I create another project because of course we're going to use two ESP32s. I'll click on this extension, create a new project. And here I'll be giving ESP-NOW_2. Same board I'm using in both the devices and click on finish. Perfect. I'll close this. So let's be on the one. So first of all, let's configure a few things. Not few, only one thing, that is monitor speed. Monitor_speed, we are going to use 115200. And we have to go to the source and the main code. And there is no library required. Okay, so it is inbuilt into the ESP32 Arduino framework. I'll include include ESP-NOW.h, and we have to use Wi-Fi.h library as well to get the MAC address and send the mode. So let's first of all initialize the serial monitor. Serial.begin, same which we defined over there. And in ESP-NOW1, I'll use button. I'll use the button to toggle the state and then send it to the another device. So I'll define the LED button which I'm going to connect on pin number 13 of ESP32. So I have to define this as a LED button as an input underscore pull up. Pull up I'll use. Pull down also you can use. So pull up in the sense it will be by default it will be 1. When I press it will be 0. And if you make it pull down, so by default it will be 0. When you press then it will be 1. Means high. When I say 1 it means high. When I say 0 it means low. Fine. Now let's as I told earlier, we have to have the MAC address of the receiver. So right now I don't have. I'll just put a dummy MAC address. So I'll just say MAC address of the receiver. So let's keep the dummy what is there. So this is I'll get it later and update it here. Then we have to define the Wi-Fi's mode. So it internally it is using the radio frequency of Wi-Fi, but not the actual Wi-Fi protocol. So I have to use I have to say that I have to use the mode station mode. So there is a AP mode. There are 3 mode actually. There is AP mode, station mode, and AP and station mode together. So there is a so I have to use the station mode here for time being. And yeah, then we can initialize our ESP now. So I can say ESP-NOW init. Basically, I should have the if condition. So if maybe some reason it is not initialized, so it will throw the error. So just to be safe. And I have to create an object of peer in the sense the receiver, and ESP-NOW peer info like that. And another important thing here is we have to send the data in one structure format, which must be same in the sender and receiver. So it's better to have one structure. So I can say type definition struct message. I don't have temperature and humidity already. I just have a boolean, which is the LED state, and by default I'll keep it false. So this is one structure. So it is it's a kind of data structure which is holding only the LED state. You can think it's like a packet. Okay, in one packet, this entire packet I'll be sending to the receiver, and the same structure I must have at the receiver end as well. So we'll do that later. Fine, structure is also ready. I'll just say struct message. I'll say data to send. Okay, fine. Let's give this name. Fine. Now let's try to we have initialize ESP-NOW. Let's try to add the peer info. Take it history peer. So first of all, I have to copy in my peer info. So if you see peer info dot address, peer address. So in this peer address, I have to copy the address whom I want to connect. So it is like a peer. So it is a MAC address of the receiver. What is the actual address and what is the size? Because in C++, if you want to copy the any array to another array, so we cannot directly put like is equal to. We cannot do like peer info dot peer address. We cannot say equal to broadcast. It will give through a compiler. Okay, that's why we have to use memcopy, or you have to run a for loop, but we don't want that. So I have just, it's like I have just assigned in this object the MAC address of the receiver. I have to define the channel. So at what channel, because as I said, if there is a possibility I might send not only one, I might send to multiple. So I can have multiple channels for communication, or I can make a mesh address, uh, means all the devices will talk to single channel only. So it's up to us. So I will define the channel 0, and encryption I'll say false, because I don't want any kind of encryption between, because I'm just sending a normal message, not any kind of password or any sensitive information. So for me it is okay. And now I'll use a method called ESP-NOW add peer. Okay, peer in the sense the receiver or sender. Okay, yeah. So in this now, because I have put it all the information of peer info, that I can pass to this function, which is ESP-NOW add peer. And if I have if I'm able to connect to the receiver through this address, it will throw me ESP-NOW status. So if I'm checking the ESP-NOW status is if it is okay, if it is not okay. Okay, so we are saying if it is not okay, so just put on the serial monitor, fail to connect, and don't go further, be here only. That's why the return is there. But if everything is good, fine. Now so ESP-NOW have two methods. One is ESP_NOW underscore register receive callback. Okay, and then we have another. So I have to pass this method. So I'll create this method, and then another we have is on send ESP-NOW register on send callback, register send callback. So it is expecting me two methods which will automatically triggered whenever I'll receive or whenever I send any kind of data through the ESP-NOW. So let's go above somewhere and create these two methods. Okay, what you want to do when you receive and what you want to do when you send. So I'll say void on data send, means when I send any kind of data, which when I press the button, then I will send. So basically I have nothing to do, but I'll just I'll just print key whether it is sent successfully or not sent. Okay, and so this method will take the address to whom you're sending, the status, okay, whether it is sent or not, and that we can check. So if the status is ESP-NOW sent success, I'll say delivered success. If it is not, we'll say deliver failed. Now what you want to do on receive, when you receive some data. So in my case, I have only send, I don't have to receive anything. So what I'll do, I'll just remove this because I have nothing to do with receive. Receive will be having only on the second device. So I have to send the data, right? So for that I have to go to the loop and I'll check whether my button is pressed or not. So I'll check if digital read. So as I said, because I'm using pull up, so when I press the button, it will be low. So I have to check if digital read LED button, is it low or 0 also you can see instead of low, both the same thing. If it is low, I have to toggle the state of the LED. So I'll use the data send. So I'll say data send dot LED state is equal to toggle it. Whatever is there, if it is true, make it false. If it is false, make it true. And then send this data. Okay. So I don't want to store the status. because that I'm already using above ESP, sorry. Send this data. Okay, I think we are fine. And then send this data. Okay, ESP now send to this address this data and the size of the data. And there is a possibility that because I'm using a push button, there is a possibility I may take long time press and hold. So I don't want anything to do when I'm holding. Only one time it should be happening. So I have to put a condition while the button is 0. Just be here, don't do anything, don't go further. Okay. So it will be like, it will stuck here. So first of all, when it is 0, it will send the data. But if it's still 0, means still I'm holding, still I pressed and hold. So it will stick here, it will not go further because of the while loop. So if I release, then only it will go to the next iteration. So that is all from the button side, from where I'm sending the data. Still I don't have the address of the receiver, and I have to know the address of this device which I will be needing in this code. Okay, so I'll do one thing. Before uploading the code, I'll print my own MAC address. So my MAC address, I'll just print my own MAC address. Okay, so I'll copy this and use that MAC address here. So I'm uploading, so that is COM5, means where is my button, that is COM5. Perfect. Now I'll just copy the entire code and paste it here because code is quite similar. One thing I need to know is the MAC address of this. So this is the MAC address. I'll just copy because this is what I'll be needing in this ESP-NOW 2 file. I hope the AI will update it by its own. Yeah. So this is the MAC address of button. MAC address from where I am receiving the LED state. And this is important that you, in the receiving side also, you must have the same data structure. Okay, so it must be copied from the this file. Okay, so I'm switching back. Okay, so here I don't have LED button, but I have the LED. So here in this device also, I'm in the second device also, I have connected the LED on pin number 13. Wherever you want, you can connect. And it won't be input pull up, it will be output, this pin, because in this pin I want to glow the LED, right? So it will be an output pin. Everything will remain same, this also same, this also same. One thing, I have nothing to send here. I have nothing to send, so I will not be needing this. Rather, I'll be using the receive callback. So for time being is null, okay, fine. I have to create one function on data received. So this is not required, send. So I'll say void on data receive. So I'll be receiving the MAC address, the data, incoming data, which I'm getting from the first device, and the length of the data. And I'll copy this entire data into this. Whatever data is coming, I'll copy this in this data structure. And yeah, I just have to say ki whatever data I have received, so check the status of that and do the digital write. So I'll just simplify what I mean. So I'll copy the data into my actual data structure, and then what I'm saying here, ki whatever I have received, right? So data to send, So I'll change this name. It's not data send actually, it's a received data. Let's say received data, so that it will be easy to understand. So I'll copy the incoming data into the received data, and in the received data, the LED status, whatever the state is there of the LED, I'll just put it on pin number 13, okay, where my LED is connected. Nothing is required, but I have to register this into the callback function. So I'll have to go down. Instead of null, I have to pass on receive data. So whenever I receive data, automatically this will be triggered. Now I do not have any use of loop function because everything is being handled by this particular callback. So whenever I'll receive the data, callback function will be triggered, and from there I'll copy the data into my receive data and then pass it to the digital write function to whether it is on or off. That's all. But still remember, I do need the MAC address of this device so that I can pass it to here. This is the dummy, right? I put a dummy. So I will be getting this device MAC address through here. So I'll upload this. I'll change the port. Okay, so I'll upload this code here. Fine, I'll open the serial monitor. I don't remember whether I put it. Okay, here also I have to put the monitor speed. And I have to restart the monitor. Okay, let me press the enable button so that it's reload. Yeah, so this is the MAC address of where the LED is. So I have to copy this. I have to paste it here. I'll just make a so that simplify. AI will auto copy it also. Fine. So now I have to re-upload this program because I have changed the MAC address here. So I'll change the port. I have changed the device. I have to re-upload this code. There you go. So data is being delivered successfully. So let me show you on the camera. So you can see if I press the button, it's on, off. Okay, I believe there is a small bug in my code. So when I press the 0 button, something is wrong. I'll just put it like delay for 100 milliseconds. Because when I press the button, sometime it is not working. Okay, let's retry. So this time it is not losing at all. Okay, so each time it is working. Okay, there is some small issue in the button itself. Okay, so this is perfect. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Make sure you like and subscribe, and do comment and let me know what you want to build through this protocol. I'll be happy to see that. Okay, see you in the next video.